Welcome to the Frontline Herbalism podcast with your host Nicole Rose from the Solidarity Apothecary. This is your place for all things plants and liberation. Let's get started.
Hello, welcome back to the Frontline Herbalism podcast. I'm so sorry it's been ages since I put out an episode. I probably sound like a broken record, but yeah, it's just really tough with a newborn baby. Well, he's not a newborn now, he's a year old, but with a baby and not having much sort of devoted time to work. But yeah, that will be changing in August when he's going to go part-time to nursery, which I'm really sad about, but also I think kind of need it now that he's running around at the speed of light, and it is extremely tiring. But yeah, so I'm sorry, but when I do have those 3 mornings a week to work, I will definitely be trying to be more consistent with the podcast and like finally start doing some interviews again. I'm really excited. But I just wanted to jump in today and talk about some merchandise we've got available. And classic, this is like really last minute because the deadline is actually today is the last chance to order, with tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. being like the absolute cutoff. Originally we were doing it to finish last week, but the fucking awesome screen printers that we use had a kind of big Palestine solidarity order come through with like 2,500 shirts that ran over. So yeah, we kind of like had to bump our orders a little bit, but that's obviously absolutely fine. So yeah, we just decided to extend by a week. So I haven't seen them, and there's a high likelihood you haven't seen them because we've been like completely shadow banned on Instagram. Like I have nearly 22,000 followers on Instagram, and like 20 people maybe see my posts about Calais. So if you don't know like the context in Calais, like it's this kind of border hotspot between between France and the UK. So many people come there and then try, because there's no safe legal routes to apply for asylum in the UK from France. You have to basically get to the UK to be able to apply, but there's no fucking options, right? So your options are a dinghy like across the channel, which is incredibly dangerous and is one of the most dangerous pieces of water in the world in terms of how many people are dying trying to cross. And then or kind of getting into trucks and vans, which is also incredibly dangerous. So yeah, people are kind of forced to attempt in these ways and then to apply for asylum in the UK. And yeah, the environment in France is like what they call like a hostile environment. Like it is intentionally hostile by the state. So people are living displaced in camps and tiny encampments like scattered around northern France, like mostly Calais and Dunkirk near the ports. It's just like relentless, constant police harassment, you know, whether that's every couple of days having their tents and belongings taken and burnt, or whether that's, you know, being followed by police and stopped and searched and beaten and things like, you know, just, I should have given a content warning, but basically like all the police violence imaginable is happening. And then people don't have access to clean water either. That constantly gets sabotaged by the police. You know, people put out grassroots groups, basically provide all the care and solidarity to meet humans' like basic fucking needs. And yeah, it's just horrible. And there's like, when I first started going out, there was like maybe a good couple of thousand people living around the area, and now it's like much harder to know how many people there are because people are so dispersed, because this constant strategy of evictions is really taking its toll on people. But there's still hundreds and hundreds of people living in these encampments that, are, you know, don't know where the local health services are living in really intense conditions. Obviously, it's summer at the moment, but the summer comes with big challenges like dehydration and mosquitoes and insect bites. And in the kind of autumn and winter, all year round, people are struggling with respiratory infections, you know, coughs, colds and flu, and many more serious conditions that they don't have kind of access to healthcare to kind of support with. So we have a project called the Mobile Herbal Clinic, which is separate from the Solidarity Apothecary, but I'm very active in the clinic. I used to go to Calais nearly every month that I could before I had my baby. And yeah, the project is still going. I'm, part of the crew working behind the scenes to do the kind of admin and fundraising and things like this. And we have this merchandise fundraiser at the moment selling these beautiful t-shirts called Plants Know No Borders, with illustrations of many of the plants that we use in the clinic. And we also have a second gorgeous design this year with a beautiful dandelion that my friend kind of moving into birds, like as if the birds are coming out of the dandelion. It's like really stunning. And we've just like gone all out. We've got aprons, we got hoodies, we've got t-shirts, we've got prints, we've got tote bags. Like we just, are trying really hard in a really difficult climate to keep fundraising for the clinic. So the clinic, because of the funding limitations, hasn't been going out as much. People have been trying to go every other month to kind of like safeguard resources, which is so frustrating because the needs are so huge. But we go out. Each trip costs between £2,000 and £3,000. Like that's what our kind of tracking and maths has shown, is that's how much we're spending on the medicine making. Like, and we grow as many plants as possible, but you still have to buy bottles and labels and glycerin. And we don't tend to use alcohol because a lot of people in the camps are Muslim, not all of them obviously, but we tend to make our medicine with glycerin where possible. And also make other things like creams and ointments and things with different infused oils. But yeah, it's really expensive. It used to be quite cheap to get to France, like on the ferry or the Eurotunnel. And now it's just like everything has gone up so much, like petrol, all the things. So yeah, it's very expensive to keep doing it. And I wish we could just maintain like a constant presence there, but that would just demand like probably 15 grand a month easy on medicine making, which for a grassroots project isn't possible right now. But yeah, we are encouraging people to sign up, giving like a monthly donation, and that is going to make the biggest difference of all in terms of creating some consistent income for us. But right now, one of the best ways you can support the project, other than just chucking in any donation, is to buy a piece of merch. And yeah, I'm really sorry to put this episode out so late. Just, my mum was away and couldn't help with the baby, and my partner's been unwell in hospital, and I just haven't had an opportunity until now. Like my partner's mum's come up for the weekend, which has just been amazing. So so anyway, I'm sorry that it's not gone out as much. I've done my best to share it to my newsletter. So if you're not on that, please sign up, as that's like the best way to hear all the updates if I'm not able to record these episodes. So all I can say is just like, please support the project. Please make a donation if you can. The merch is absolutely beautiful. It's organic. It's screen printed by like a DIY crew, like not far from where I live. And completely like sweatshop free. I know like this like consumption economy like isn't great. Like I hate that we're like having to like sell and like market shit all the time, but like really, without people giving a donation every month, like it is genuinely so hard to fundraise. And so that's why like we do the merch, and like we do need clothing, but it's really high quality, really beautiful. And this year, like we've collaborated with some people, with an amazing herbalist called Christelle, who's in Belgium, and she's been sending out all the orders to people on mainland Europe. We've not been able, unfortunately, to post there ourselves because, oh my God, the last time we did it, like so many things got stopped at customs, and we had to like refund people, and after having already paid the postage for their items, and it just cost us like hundreds of pounds. And I just said to the team, like, I'm not doing it. Like basically, like it was so much stress, getting like stressed emails from people being like, where's my order? And I'm like, I'm not fucking Amazon. Anyway, but Christelle's been doing that, but unfortunately the order deadline has passed. But we've also been collaborating with an amazing human called Elliot in the so-called US, to fundraise for a project there. So we've been doing like 50-50 split with our merch for that project, which is run by people like basically on the border between the US and Mexico, doing like amazing food sovereignty work, like things around horticulture and stuff. So we just wanted to like collaborate, and the design is in Spanish. But anyway, I have to go in a second. So please check that out. All the information is on my website. Thanks so much for listening. I really hope to come back soon with some more solo episodes. because I just miss podcasting, and I really hope to be doing some interviews as well. If you are interested in these issues around herbalism and border violence and learning a bit more about the mobile herbal clinic Calais and what we do and how it works, I've got like a free recorded webinar that I did about herbalism and border violence, like connecting these kind of terrains of struggle and stuff. So I'll put a link to that in the show notes. But anyway, thank you for listening, and please buy an item if you can afford it. And if you can't afford it, which I totally understand, if you could just like share it on social media or in your Signal chats or your networks, like we would just appreciate that so much. Okay, thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to the Frontline Herbalism podcast. You can find the transcript, the links, all the resources from the show at solidarityapothecary.org/podcast.